Hey guys, so I have an interesting question for you. If you're 30 years old, let's say, because I'm 30 years old, imagine what you could accomplish over the next 30 years. Now, here's why I say that. If you're 30 years old, like myself, another 30 years of life, doubling the amount of time I've been alive, takes me to the typical retirement age setting. Typically, 65 is the age most people retire now, but 59 and a half is the point at which you can retire. So, I got to thinking, look, at 30 years old, 2/3 of my life is spent just trying to figure my own self out, dealing with hormones as a teenager and being, developing as a child. I had very little control over my life, what happened to me, my upbringing, very little control. But as an adult, maybe the last 1/3 of that, I had a little more control. But again, I'm very, very new, young, limited, trying to figure it all out. So I got to thinking, okay, if I'm able to get to this point in my life by 30, and for you, wherever you're at in your life, you've somehow figured out how to get to where you are now. Imagine if you were very intentional with your finances over the next 30 years and you actually on purpose tried to execute a financial plan. So I want to show you guys some crazy numbers. Let's look at if you were to start investing 30 years ago, how much wealth could you have built up in 30 years? And we'll use it's a simulator of the S&P 500. So we'll put it in starting in 1990 to 2020. All right. Now, let's say at this point in your life, you can at least invest $500 a month, and that's it. Okay. Over the course of 30 years, that $500 would be worth $917,000. Okay? And you know what the crazy thing is? That's a bad plan. That is literally just getting average market returns and only investing a tiny fraction of money to a wealth building plan. Now, think about this. All of that was accomplished by simply following the model of putting money away consistently, right? And you're able to get a $1 million balance, all right? And that's following what would have happened over the past 30 years. So who knows what will happen over the next 30 years? If we were to use previous market trends, it's pretty easy to see that you could have $1 million account balance. And the thing too is, if you have the right plan in place, you can make sure that all of that money is tax-free. So imagine if you had the perfect wealth building plan, all right? All you had to do was just follow the plan. How could that help you? One, you can invest more money into your wealth building plan. You could also invest in the right type of asset. You would invest in a productive asset. Why? Why is that important? A productive asset produces an income. So if you take that income that your productive asset produces and you put it back into your wealth building plan, that means that you are investing more every month. And it's not even affecting your regular lifestyle at all. What if you could invest $2,000 a month? You know, you got some productive assets going and you could have invested $2,000 a month, all right? The account balance right now would be $3.7 million. $3.7 million. And the thing is, if you have a good plan, you can get better rates of return. You won't even be stuck with mirroring the market with an S&P 500, which Imagine if you're having better rates of return, and when the market dips, you're not losing as much money in those declines. I mean, that portfolio balance could be almost double if you think about it. If you can average at least a 12% ROI, you double your money every 6 years. So it could be reasonable to think that over the course of 30 years, compounding, that you could have at least double that account balance. And imagine this, the right wealth building plan has other wealth building investment options for you. Like, how does real estate play into your plan? How do owning businesses play into your plan? So if you are interested in putting together the perfect wealth building plan so that you can live your ideal lifestyle as soon as possible, I urge you to book a free strategy call with me. I'm doing free strategy calls so that I can better understand your situation and help you with your financial life and help you understand what is the next step that I need to take to build generational wealth, to set myself up so that I can put as much of my income as I can into a wealth building plan that eventually will pay for the lifestyle that I want to live.